Aloha, it's Kiana, and here are today's top Hawaii headlines from the editors at the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Also, mahalo to Longs Drugs Hawaii for sponsoring the show. Head on over to your neighborhood Longs Drugs for all your shopping needs. Republican Representative Kevin McCarthy has cleared a major step toward becoming House Speaker. McCarthy won support from his GOP colleagues to be nominated to the role today. The internal conference vote was 188 to 31. Republicans are on the verge of majority control of the House, giving McCarthy a chance to take the gavel from Democrat Nancy Pelosi. He will need to shore up support from the far right ahead of a final vote in the full House early next year. McCarthy faces a challenge from Representative Andy Biggs of Arizona, who served as chairman of the conservative House Freedom Caucus. Republican leaders are seeing backlash over a disappointing performance in the midterm elections, and only a few races remain undecided. McCarthy promised a GOP sweep that would transform Washington, but the House could see one of the slimmest majorities in 90 years. Former Waianae High School star quarterback Puletua Wilson has been sentenced to 20 years in prison for the death of his friend Troy Kaho'oilihala Jr. In October 2017, 21-year-old Kaho'oilihala was in the backseat of a Toyota Avalon being driven by a drunk Wilson, who was 24 at the time. The car was traveling at 100 miles per hour along Farrington Highway near Cayabyab Beach Park when it veered off the road, went through a fence, and hit a parked truck. It went airborne and flipped multiple times before coming to rest about 200 feet away. Kaho'oilihala was thrown from the vehicle and struck his head on rocks along the shoreline. A jury found the 29-year-old Wilson guilty of manslaughter on July 28th. This morning, Circuit Judge Paul Wong handed down a sentence of 20 years, the maximum time allowed under state law. Prior to today's sentencing, Wilson had remained free after posting a $100,000 bond in December 2017. Nick Rolovich is suing Washington State University after he was fired as head coach for refusing a COVID-19 vaccination. The former University of Hawaii quarterback and coach filed a lawsuit against Washington State last week. The university's athletic director Patrick Chun and Governor Jay Inslee are also named as defendants. When Rolovich was coaching in Washington, Inslee issued a mandate that required all state employees to get vaccinated. Rolovich applied for a religious exemption. He claims Chun and other university officials were hostile when they denied the request. Rolovich was fired from the $3 million a year coaching job midway through the 2021 season. At the time, he was the state's highest paid public employee and had more than 3 years left on a 5-year contract. On Monday, the university said Rolovich failed to meet medical or religious exemptions to Inslee's mandate. A 22-year-old woman has been arrested after allegedly hitting her boyfriend with her car during an argument in Kahalu'u. Honolulu police said the woman and her 29-year-old boyfriend were arguing on La Maula Road at about 9:45 Monday morning. The argument escalated and the woman drove her Nissan sedan into the man, injuring him. Emergency medical services responded and treated the boyfriend for a shoulder injury, abrasions, and lacerations. He was taken to a hospital in serious condition. Police arrested the woman on suspicion of second-degree attempted murder. She was still in custody as of this morning. A high surf advisory is in effect for north and west-facing shores of Ni'ihau, Kauai, and Oahu. The National Weather Service expects a northwest swell to produce surf between 10 to 16 feet along north-facing shores of those islands through tomorrow afternoon. West-facing shores are forecast to see surf between 8 to 12 feet. The advisory is in effect until 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. A northerly swell is expected to come in late tomorrow and continue into Thursday. That could prompt an extension of the advisory for north-facing shores. On the south side, surf is forecast at 1 to 3 feet today and tomorrow. East-facing shores are seeing a choppy 2 to 4 feet that is expected to decline to 1 to 3 feet tomorrow. For more on these stories and all the latest headlines, subscribe to the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Visit Hawaii's top source for breaking news online at staradvertiser.com and download the Star-Advertiser mobile app. Mahalo, have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.